What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's another week of Just a Fan Podcast. All right. I am one quarter host of this thing, the Wildcat quarterback, the one they call the NFL Encyclopedia, Brandon Williams. And that way, I'm a perfectionist at this now. It's Eric Pando 316 right.
I'm not always right, but I'm more right than wrong.
There you go. There you go. Let's do this. All right. So, this is going to be an interesting. Well, this was an interesting week one. Excuse me.
Hmm.
We got a lot to talk about. It was like I said, it's a crazy week one. So I don't know, fans. If y'all think we overreacting, go ahead and say it in the comment section. But we're gonna jump into this. Eric, Thursday night football was the very first game of the regular season. We were all glad to have it. Everybody was glad, and this is the final. This is the first Sunday of football, and all the way until the Super Bowl. And now we had the defending Super Bowl champions lose to the Buffalo Bills by 20 plus points, and the Buffalo Bills turned the ball over 3 plus times. Now, usually when you turn the ball over 3 plus times, you lose the game, but Buffalo won this game by 20 plus points. So, something ain't right with the Super Bowl champs. What do you think, Eric?
They are who I've been saying they were. Again, they are who I've been saying that they were. And all of a sudden you had like all in the middle of last season, everybody like, oh, the Rams this and the Rams that and da this and and Matt Stafford, and Jalen Ramsey, your fart smells so good. And Aaron Donald, he's in the 99 club and all of this other stuff like that. And I'm sitting up here like, they overrated. And everybody called me crazy. They called me a hater because they in the same division as my team, not realizing that I have the ability, the uncanny ability to be objective about stuff, and I call it like I see it. Because they not the only ones I'm finna get on tonight. I'm finna get on my own team with that debacle of a mess that they had Sunday in the rain. But it ain't hating if it's true, and they proved it right there. Now, some folks will be like, oh, it's just week one. Oh, they didn't play a whole lot in the preseason. Miss me with that. You're the defending Super Bowl champions. Period. You need to be ready. This is a man's game, according to the great Ray Lewis. This is a man's game. You better be ready to play. You got the top spot. You done talked all this noise. You talking about your rings. You done been at your Super Bowl parade talking about let's run it back. Well, guess what? You had a test. You had a test week one against a team that a lot of people are predicting to make it to the Super Bowl this year. I'm going to say this. Dominant teams do not get dominated. Write that down. Dominant teams do not get dominated. Now, if the Rams would have went in there and lost by 3, I predicted they was going to lose. That was in my last week's pick. But I kind of had an idea that they was going to lose. But this was a glaring indictment of, one, how overrated the Rams are. Period. And if you want to come in the comments and talk about it, we can talk about it. But I got something hot waiting on you. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to win that debate. I'm just saying. Come on, bring Tristan in and see what he got to say. Because I ain't trying to hear that, they ain't nobody playing during the preseason. I ain't trying to hear that. You're the defending Super Bowl champs. You better be ready. You the top spot. Get ready to get knocked off. People coming for you.
What's going on? What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
They don't get a pass from me because they're the Super Bowl. Jameson, who said they were a dominant team? Everybody that's been holding a jock since mid-season last year. The Rams this, the Rams that, the Rams. Eric, you just a hater. Jalen Ramsey can't cover. He can't do nothing but cover the tab at the bar. That's all he can cover. Okay.
No one said they were the dominant team.
If you gonna call yourself no. No, no. Dominant teams don't get dominated. And if you're the Super Bowl champions, you're
No
supposed to
one
be a
said they were
dominant team.
dominant team.
You,
No.
I don't give it.
No.
Hey, whoa.
They,
Answer my question. Are they the Super Bowl champions? Are they
yeah,
the
that
defending
is.
Super Bowl champions?
It's not the most
Is a
dominant team.
defending Super Bowl
I'm talking
champion supposed
about
to lose
that
by
wins the
21?
championship. You know better than that, Eric. It's not always the most dominant team that wins the championship. Some people get hot
You're
at
not
the right
answering my
time.
question. You're not answering my question, though. My question
I
are,
did.
if you're
I
the defending
said
Super
they are
Bowl
the Super Bowl
champions and
champions.
you sit up there talking about we gonna run it back and we all this and we all that,
What
you
team
didn't
has not said
talk the
that?
talk, but you can't walk the walk.
What
The
team
Bills
has
turned the
not said
ball
that?
over 4 times.
What
Four
team has
times.
not? What team has
4
not said
times.
they're
And
going to go
still
back to
they
back?
lost by 21 points. Miss me.
Eric,
Miss me.
what team that's won the Super Bowl has not said they're going to go back to back? I'll wait. What team has not said that?
It doesn't matter. If you're
It
going to
does
talk the
matter.
talk, you need to walk the walk. I know plenty
It
of
does
Super Bowl
matter.
teams talk about they're going to run it back and didn't fail egregiously on national television. They didn't get
Exactly.
sodomized on national television like the Rams
But
did.
some of them did. Some of them did.
No.
This is
Name
my
me
thing.
a defending Super Bowl champion, defending
This,
their title for the first week. They got beat this bad. I'll
this
wait.
is my thing. This is my
I'll
thing.
wait.
Have
I'll
you
wait.
never heard of Super Bowl hangover? They talk about it.
Super
It
Bowl hangovers are
happens.
usually for the team that lost the Super Bowl.
No, they happen for the ones that won too, because they spent
Stop
they
apologizing, Tristan.
they spent
Stop
most of the
apologizing
off
for them,
season.
Tristan.
They
Stop.
spent most of the off season
Stop
celebrating this
apologizing for them.
championship.
You got
This
all
is
these
what I'm saying.
excuses. I'm gonna tell you like this. My band director in high school had a motto. It was on the band room wall. It said results, not excuses.
Listen,
John Miller Trousdale used to say that.
I hear what you're
Stop
saying,
giving them excuses.
but I have to play the, and I'm sorry for the angle. I'm doing this from my phone. I don't have my MacBook at the moment. But hear me out. Hear me out before you. I give you
I
your
know
time.
what you're gonna
I,
say, but
I
go
gave
ahead.
you your space. I gave you
Go
your
ahead.
space. Understand this. The Rams are coming off a Super Bowl hangover. The Rams also, to Sean McVay, whether it was a good decision or not, did not play any of his key starters at all in the preseason. Not one. Not maybe
Irrelevant.
Aaron Donald probably got a burn here and there. It has to be relevant because on the
Irrelevant.
opposite end, on
Irrelevant.
I
They're
gave you
defending
your
champion.
time. I
That's
gave
an
you your
excuse.
time. I
That's an
gave you
excuse.
your time. I gave you your time. I gave you your time.
Okay,
On
I'm
the
gonna write down.
opposite
I'm gonna
end,
write down all this so I can eviscerate it later. Go ahead.
on the opposite end,
Preseason.
you
Go ahead.
had Coach McDermott and the Bills who played majority of their preseason. You also have the Bills who are the prohibitive favorites to not only get to the Super Bowl, but to win the Super Bowl. You also have Josh Allen, who is the favorite for MVP. You have you literally went into a buzzsaw against these Bills because they were already playing in midseason form. I watched them in preseason too. They looked like they were in week 6. They were already in preseason form. It's a juggernaut that you kind of deal with when it comes to that team. What I'm saying is it's not excusing the Rams, but I can not if I'm a Rams fan, I'm not gonna panic on week 1 when I'm looking at this Bills team that they're probably gonna run roughshod on a lot of teams this season. That's all I'm saying. The only flaw that the Bills have is a non consistent running game. That's it. They literally have every other thing in their arsenal to win a Super Bowl. They just need to have a consistent running game. That's it. I gave you your time, Eric. I gave you your time. I gave you your time. I gave you your time. All I'm saying is I'm not one to panic if I'm a Rams fan on week 1 of how they got shellacked. You're right. They got shellacked. And that's probably a humbling moment for them.
They
But
got more than shellac.
I'm not going to panic if I'm a Rams fan. I'm not panicking over it. I'm not going to say, oh, this is whatever. No, it happened. Let's see how it looks in week 2. Now, if we're sitting here this time next week and they wet the bed like that again, now we're gonna have something to talk about. But I'm not doing it against the Bills. That's like what happened with who played against the Chiefs? Who played against the Chiefs on Sunday?
The Cardinals,
The
a
Cardinals.
non-playoff team.
It's a non-playoff team, but when nobody was looking at Patrick Mahomes to do 5 touchdown passes because everybody all offseason was saying, "Oh, he doesn't have Tyreek Hill. Oh, he doesn't." There's just certain teams they're just gonna beat up people. I- The Bills are one. The Chiefs are another one. You got them kind of QBs like that. Ain't nothing you could really do for real. For real.
But you
They,
the defending Super Bowl champs, though. So,
I understand that they're the Super
Brandon,
Bowl champs.
can you answer the question for me, Brandon?
I'm not saying they didn't lay an egg. I'm not saying they didn't lay an egg. They for sure did.
I,
I was
I got a
disappointed.
question for Brandon.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Brandon, when did the NFL schedule come out?
NFL schedule comes out in April, like
In
a
April.
week.
In April. Oh, in April. So
A
that
week.
means the Rams knew that they had to play the Bills in the week 1. They knew that,
What,
right?
what was your expectation,
Cry me
Eric?
a river.
What was your expectation?
Cry me a
Please
river.
tell me,
But listen
please
to
tell
me.
me what your
Listen to me.
expectation was.
Because see, you
Because
you
I
listen.
had the Rams losing. I had the Rams losing that
I
game.
had them losing too. But here's the thing. I wouldn't be going off like I was going off right now if they'd have lost 31-28. If they'd have lost 31-21, I still wouldn't have won.
Against
Okay? The
against that
fact that
defense, when they don't have Robert
they
Woods, when
got
they don't have Odell Beckham Jr., it was
they
literally Cooper Cup or bust.
quit
You
making
expected
excuses.
28 points,
You
but that
making
is
excuses.
fact.
You
It's
making
fact.
excuses. They added Allen Robinson.
Would you take Allen Robinson over
Hell
Robert
yes.
Woods or Odell Beckham Jr.?
Hell yes. Because
Come
he's
on, man.
healthy.
Come on, man.
Because he's
Come on,
healthy.
man. Allen
Because he's
Robinson in
healthy.
Chicago was like a big fish in a small pond, and you know it.
He's
And you
healthy.
know it.
Can Odell Beckham play right now? I'll wait.
That
I'll
doesn't
wait.
matter. Allen Robinson wasn't an
Quit making
answer.
excuses for them, Tristan. God, why don't you go ahead and throw all your Washington Commander stuff away and go get you some Ram stuff? Because I've never seen somebody make this many excuses for a team they don't even root for.
It's just facts.
What I'm trying to say is right now, if they'd have lost that game, I'd be like, hey, man, you know, it happens. But the way that they completely crumbled, the way they got embarrassed on national, I'm telling you right now, the Bills need to be all in handcuffs and the special victims unit need to be coming in. The
But do
Bills
you
did not even play their best game. They turned the ball over 4 damn times and still won by 21. That's Bush League.
but do
How
you
you lose
realize
by
that you
21 points and the team gave you the ball 4 times?
but do you realize that by the rhetoric that you're giving is that you're discrediting the fact that the Bills might just be that good of a team?
Here's the thing. I'm going to quote somebody else famous. Everybody knows I love wrestling. In order to beat a man, woo, you got to beat the man. And the Bill said, that's what we up for. If you're going to beat a man, you got to take on all comers.
Okay,
It
but
don't
Eric,
matter who
okay,
it is. You make excuses talking
okay,
about, oh, the Bills are this. Yes, the Bills are that.
I'm
The
gonna
Bills are,
okay.
they are that team. But if you're going to be the defending Super
So
Bowl champion, you're going to run your mouth about, let's
so
run
I'm
it
gonna
back.
use
You better show up and prove.
so
They
I'm
showed
gonna
up to be
use
paper champions. They were Rocky
I'm
Balboa against Clubber Lang the
I'm gonna
first time.
use some of the comment. I'm gonna use a comment that you made during the summer when you talk about the Rams, because there was a point that you felt like everybody thought the Rams were all this in a bag of chips, and you said this comment, and I agreed with you. I was on your side. Let's remember this. I was on your side, Eric. You said nothing in that playoff run all the way through the Super Bowl told you that the Rams were just better. It was just certain opportunities that fell on their side. The
Absolutely.
ball flipped on their end. So why am I coming into a game expecting a team that basically got lucky all the way to a Super Bowl to a team that really should have been playing them in the Super Bowl? Because when you look at the Chiefs Bills game,
Thank you for making my point.
but that's what I'm saying, Eric.
The prosecution race, Your Honor.
But that's what I'm saying, Eric. I think the point that I'm trying to make that I don't think you're understanding is I didn't go in with the expectation that this is going to be a close game
You
between
didn't.
Southern teams.
You didn't. You didn't. But there is a bunch of asshats around America that thought that the Rams was going to come in and, oh, here's the Rams, including Jameson who's watching right now. there's a lot of people that thought that they gonna handle
Everyone,
Buffalo. Oh, it's about to be a game. I was like, they finna lose
my
because
whole thing
Buffalo
was
finna put that heat. Buffalo coming in there with that heat.
so my whole thing was going back to the playoffs with the Rams. They were one bad call away from not even being in the NFC Championship. They were one dropped interception away from not being in the Super Bowl. When I see those kind of things happen, I'm not looking at you. Even the Super Bowl, if Joe Burrow, when he was getting swung, if that ball traveled a couple inches further and got caught, this is a different conversation. If Joe Burrow had 2 more seconds to throw the ball to Jamar Chase, when Jalen Ramsey was lying with his face in the grass, we're having a whole different conversation. So for me, that team, I'm not looking for them to dominate the Bills.
So what
The
you
Bills
saying?
didn't dominate.
No. I didn't say they were supposed to dominate the Bills. It's supposed to be a game. I'm a quote another line.
I didn't think this was supposed to be a game.
This from the Players Club. Did you at least pinch them?
I didn't, but I didn't even look for this to be a game. Why? Because you had Matt Stafford who didn't practice all offseason because we were talking about this elbow. We didn't even know if he was going to be a
And that
play
elbow's still an issue.
until a week prior, and the elbow is still an issue. You
Exhibit
lost.
A, you're on.
You lost Robert. You lost Robert Woods, who was a great compliment to Cooper Cup. You don't have Odell Beckham Jr. You brought in Allen Robinson, who to me I feel is a little bit overrated. And you didn't compensate anything else. You didn't compensate for your offensive line. You lost Von Miller on the defensive side of the ball, and
That
you're
left
taking
tackle for the Rams is a turnstile.
and that's what I'm saying. So for me, so maybe it's me. I analyzed it and I was like, I expected them to get beat like this because they didn't really add anything to show me to say, oh yeah, the Rams can go ahead and run this back. I looked at it as y'all were definitely lucky that y'all had some breaks.
Again,
To even
Tristan.
get there.
Again, Tristan. We all know that. We know your football acumen, but you know that. But there's a lot of people that think the Rams just supposed to. There's a lot of folks. There's a lot of folks that argue me down. Folk be wanting to fight me behind the Rams and can't even name who the quarterback was for the Rams in the early 90s. But you got people like that. And just these are the same people that also think that Jimmy Garoppolo would have won the game Sunday if he was starting. These people don't know what they talking about. These are the same people that my slogan came from. Where Pando 316 says, "I just proved you wrong." There it is. Again, Tristan, you know that. Brandon knows that. Hell, even Steve know that. But I'm here to jump all the way down the throat of everybody in here that was in here talking about the Rams this and the Rams that and so on and so on and so forth and blah, blah, blah. Because they got exposed and it's not going to end with Thursday night. They still got that trash left tackle. They still got Jalen Ramsey, who out there, all he can do is cover the tab at Buffalo Wild Wings. That's all he can do at this point. And still running his mouth. You know it's bad when Coach 30 made a video about you. Okay? Hey, what's up, DMV Sports Zone? But you know it's bad, okay? Aaron Donald is still a phenomenal player, okay? But he by himself. Him by himself. And then you throw in the other variable about Matt Stafford and this elbow, which is clearly an issue. He threw 3 picks that night, and there were several other plays that were turnover worthy that they just didn't catch. Matthew Stafford was already throwing picks every damn game, okay? Now it's going to be compounded by this weak arm. So, yeah, miss me about the Rams repeating. Okay, will they make the playoffs? Yeah, probably. But the
They might not. Because I like how the Saints look. I mean, I got some teams that
somebody got to come out of the NFC West right now, and which before anybody say anything, that Seattle thing, that was a fluke last night. So don't even, that was bad coaching on the.
I actually want to move off this game and talk about some of these games leading into.
Okay, let's move forward. So let's move forward to Sunday. Well, Brandon, what you got next?
Well, I'll tell you what. Since you already brought it up, let's go and talk about that game last night between Seattle and Denver.
Let me tell you.
Can I start? Wait, can I start this one off?
Go ahead, man. I'm gonna let you get, because I already went off on the Rams. I'm gonna let you have this one first, and then I'm gonna come in. Go ahead.
I'm basically gonna repeat what I talked about in our private group earlier, but I'm gonna just make it quicker than what I did. So I don't blame Russell Wilson at all for that game last night.
Heck no.
Watching that game, everybody was unprepared except for Russell. Russell was ready to go
Agreed.
last night.
Agreed.
So a couple things I take away from that. Nathaniel Hackett, if I'm the owner, you're already in the hot seat as a coach for what you just did last night. I'm paying Russell Wilson $250+ million to be the franchise QB,
And you're
not
not
be a
letting him
game
cook.
manager.
And you're not letting him
Not
cook.
be a game manager. That's not what I brought him in to be a game manager.
You're
For
not
all
letting
that,
Russ cook.
I would have kept all my picks. I'd have went with Drew Lock and kept it pushing if that was what I was going to do. I brought him in to be my franchise QB. You are 4th and 5, and you're asking your kicker, albeit he's a good kicker, but you're asking him. He's not Justin Tucker. You're asking him to do a NFL record kick. I think Justin Tucker did 66 last season, so this would be the second longest if he had made it. Instead of Russell Wilson, who by numbers, this is not me just talking out of the side of my neck, is one of the most efficient fourth down QBs in NFL history. I think he's like 60 something, 60 something, 70 something percent, which means it's basically a guarantee, or it's almost a guarantee that he's going to convert that. So you got this guy, you brought him in to be this person, and when you needed him to be the person to show why he's the $250 million man, you went in for a field goal. So Hackett, you're already in the hot seat. The receivers need to get up to Russell Wilson's level. I'm going to give them the benefit for that game
Now,
because they haven't, those receivers in particular have not seen good quarterback play since the day they stepped foot in the NFL. Those particular receivers have never seen it. None of them have Peyton Manning, nothing. It's been a revolving door of QBs since the moment Cortland Sutton, Judy, all them cats. They ain't never seen it before.
now I
So they
will.
don't know the expectation.
I'm gonna back off of Jared Judy because Jared Judy he did have a drop last night, but other than that, he balled.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to hump on them, but they got to raise their game. But I'm not going to blame them because they've never seen it. It's never been expected of them in this caliber.
I blame Melvin Gordon and the other running back. That's why I blame. 'Cause
Melvin
those were
Gordon,
game-winning plays right there.
the whole running back room, you're carrying a football for the
They
entire
need to
week.
get in the cut face first.
You need to be sleeping with the football. You need to shower with the football. I don't want to see you
They need to get in
anywhere.
the cut face first.
I don't care if you're going on a date with your lady. You better have that football right there at the table. I don't care. I
They
need
need
to
to get
see
in the
the
cut face
football in your
first.
hand. I need to see the football in your hand. The
This,
defense, my God,
yeah.
what happened?
How
Why
you make
is
Geno
Geno,
Smith look like he an all-pro?
why is Geno looking like Vince Young out here in Texas?
And we know he's not that good.
What in the world?
We know.
I had to keep looking at the screen to make sure it was Geno that was playing. I was like, who is this guy? Who is this guy?
It was egregious. It was
Did
egregious.
not understand that. Did not understand that. Now my last bit, because I told you I was going to be quick. I was going to be long. I don't care how it happened. I don't care how bad the breakup was. The Seahawks fans and any Seahawks fan that's watching it, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
First of all, what's the Seahawks
You
fan?
ought to be ashamed of yourself. I only know like two in my entire life that are like true blue from Seattle,
They
family
from
from Seattle.
They from
Yeah.
Seattle. Everybody else that ain't from there that's hollering about their Seahawks fans. I got a bone to pick with you because you don't know who Kurt Warner is.
You should be ashamed of yourself. I never felt so bad for a player. The last time I felt bad like that was when Andrew Luck got booed walking off the field when they found out he was going to retire. That's how I felt. I felt so angry. This man was a third round pick. Do you all realize that if Russell Wilson wasn't Russell Wilson, that y'all would have been dealing with that cat from Green Bay that y'all paid all that money to?
They'd have been over in the Super Bowl.
Matt Flynn? Y'all would have been dealing with Matt Flynn, who y'all paid all that money to. Matt Flynn if Russell Wilson wasn't Russell Wilson. Matt Flynn. We didn't even hear Matt Flynn again when Russell Wilson came in. Are you kidding me?
Hmm.
I understand the Legion of Boom. I understand Beast Mode. I get it. But unlike Jimmy Garoppolo, there were plays that Russell Wilson made to get them to
Thank
both
you.
them Super Bowls.
Thank
To get
you.
them both them Super Bowls.
Thank you. Yeah.
You I don't care how they feel about Russell Wilson. You're not about to find a player that played with him in those Super Bowl years to say, "Oh, if we had another quarterback, we'd have still got to the chip." Nah, Russell Wilson made some magic out. He made some incredible throws to get them in that position. He got some of them wide receivers paid that wouldn't even be a wide receiver one on any other team. Javon Curse.
Yeah.
Let's have that conversation. So I
Well,
don't even want to hear that. So for 10 years, your quarterback, regardless of no offensive line, no consistent run game after beast mode, no defense after Legion of Boom, has kept you guys relevant enough that he
that's
almost
what.
got you to a third Super Bowl. You and you boo him? You boo him to that vitriol. I can understand if you cheered him when he came, like how Foxborough did Brady. He came in, they cheered him, and then when the ball was snapped, they were ready to boo. Okay, yeah, because he's playing on the opposite team. Y'all booed him when he made an entrance.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Without
Same
Russell
thing.
Williams, without Russell Wilson, there he made them relevant for the last 10 years. And I
Same
know
thing.
somebody had said, well, they went to a Super Bowl before that, but that was what, 2004?
That was the
But
2005 regular season when Mike Holmgren was the head coach.
Right. So that was
first of
like
all, you had Mike Holmgren. Sean Alexander was playing out of his mind. Was the MVP at the time.
Matt
Like
Hasselbeck was the quarterback.
your
yeah.
defense was legit back then. Yeah, Lofa Tatupu was middle linebacker.
Yep.
You had Trufant on the court. Come on, you had a squad.
But after that, that space and time
It was an abyss.
between that Super Bowl that they lost and when Russell Wilson came
It
in,
was an abyss.
they were completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
And Seattle fans, I'm gonna use air quotes. Seattle fans, you are classless for booing this man.
Matt Flynn was going to be your QB1.
Because for what he gave you for them 10 years, you should be appreciative. Okay, that's fine.
Matt
He plays for
Flynn.
another team.
Matt Flynn. That's all I gotta say. Matt Flynn
Y'all could have
was
had
going
Matt
to be
Flynn.
your QB1.
Y'all could have had
Matt
Matt.
Flynn. Y'all would have destroyed your organization because they paid. Y'all remember that at the time that was a lot of money for one game that he had against Detroit when he played in Green Bay. One game got him paid
One game.
like that. One game, and it's not like y'all understand that y'all haven't really drafted as far as like offensively. Y'all ain't really nailed anything. Russell Wilson has been covering a lot of y'all miscues, y'all misfires as far as drafting offensive talent. Like other than Russell Wilson, your best offensive talent that you can mention is probably DK Metcalf that you drafted. And even then, you waited. Somebody that was projected to be a first rounder, you waited to draft him.
You
So
know
y'all
how
didn't even pick him.
you know how I feel about DK.
I get you. I want. And then I hear they were chanting Geno Smith. Listen to me, Seahawks fans. This might be a long year for y'all. I want y'all to understand that last night was definitely an outlier.
That
I
was
want you to understand that the emotion of the game, the everything that was surrounding that game, those guys played out of their minds. I want you to understand me clear.
an
Geno
aberration.
Smith is your quarterback.
Yeah.
That was an aberration. That is not going to be your season. This whole why not us? No, 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 no. It's going to be a long year. And I hope y'all keep that same energy chanting Geno Smith when he throwing all these interceptions and stuff throughout the season. I hope y'all do. And you
When he
watching
sees better
Russell Wilson
defenses.
and you
When he
watching
sees
Russell
better
Wilson
pass rushes.
exactly. And you out here having Russell Wilson dang near have an MVP season. I want you all to have the same energy. Yeah, that was so. I was really disappointed. I really thought they would have given him more respect than that for what he's done for that order. Class act, no issues off the field, family man, all the community service he done off the field, and giving you quality winning football.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
Shameful.
I've never liked Seattle fans anyway. Seattle fans
Hey,
anyway.
guys,
So,
real quick, I just have a quick question for the both of y'all. Um, Regarding more so about Pete Carroll. Um,
oh yeah.
no, just real quick, just real quick. All right. In our group chat, we have criticized Bill Belichick for not being much of anything outside of Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm,
When he was in Cleveland as a head coach, he was not successful.
mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll, I don't know if y'all know, but he coached in the NFL before USC and
Of
before
course.
Seattle. He was
Yeah.
Yeah,
with the Patriots and the Jets, and
yeah.
he didn't have that much success either.
No, he did
Yes.
not.
Should we criticize Pete Carroll as much as we criticize Bill Belichick?
You
Because,
criticize him more.
huh?
You criticize him more. He's not a quality coach. All of the success he's had between USC and this current Seahawks regime, look at the roster.
True.
We could coach them USC teams. We could coach them and win a national championship. That roster was ridiculous.
Stacked. Stacked.
Ridiculous.
Stacked roster.
You, you, that's the only way he can function. Is because clearly he doesn't draft well.
No,
Clearly,
no, not at all.
we've seen it over the years. So you literally had the Legion of Boom kind of fall in line, and then Russell Wilson was the icing on the cake. Beast
He
Mode
knew.
came in and played. It never was built organically.
He knew those players coming out of college. He knew Richard Sherman, but once he got away from that college landscape,
He didn't know anything. He didn't know the
thank
He
guy.
you.
didn't know anything.
Nope.
Mhm.
Didn't know anything. He knew, I didn't get the piggyback off of Eric earlier today. He knew when them sanctions was coming down. He knew he couldn't coach. He can't coach that team that was without
Facts.
some politics. He
Facts.
couldn't do
Because
it.
the NFL came calling for him on several occasions after those successful USC seasons, and he didn't leave. But
Right.
all of a sudden, he jumps up and leaves for Seattle like a few months before these sanctions came down, and he knew that USC was going to go into the basement
I mean,
behind.
why would I leave? Why would I leave a situation? Reggie Bush, Lendell White, Steve Smith, Mario Manningham. I got freaking Matt Leinart, who's one of the most accurate QBs in college history. Why would
Dwayne
I
Jarrett.
go? Dwayne Jarrett. Why would I go? Why would I leave? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you want me to come to a team that ain't got nothing, and you're asking me to rebuild it? No, sir.
Hmm.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's trash.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Pete. I don't have a lot of respect for him, and not just
No.
for him as a coach, as an X's and O's guys, just
But him
just
as a person,
the stuff
you
that he.
left the organization and made kids have to clean your mess up.
Yeah, so I just I don't for what he did at USC, and then you fast forward to how he handled, the whole Russell Wilson thing, last
The
night.
worst call in Super Bowl history. I'll
I
never
wasn't even
forget.
gonna go into that, but since you
I'd
brought
have,
it up, yeah,
I'd have, I'd have fired you before you even got on the plane. I'd have
yeah,
fired you before you got on the plane. You kidding me? It's
yeah,
not like it was fourth down. It's not like it was even third down. It was second and goal at the 3 yard line. Are you kidding me?
yep,
Are you kidding me?
yeah.
Do
So,
y'all know Marshawn Lynch was averaging 4 yards a carry in that game? Are you
hey
kidding me?
man, listen, hey, I'm a Niners fan. You ain't got to tell me about bad coaching in big games, you can use that as a segue going into uh talking about the Niners versus the Bears. So I
See, we're
saw a
going we're
comment.
going we're going to argue. We're going to argue again, Eric. We're going to argue again.
Okay,
I'm telling you now,
so
we're going to argue again.
first thing first, let's get one thing straight, Bears fans. That was another apparition, just like
Yeah, y'all
Seattle.
gonna have a rough year.
All
It's
right,
gonna be a heavy
'cause
year for
I'm,
y'all.
I'm
I got
finna
it.
I'm finna let me talk, Tristan. All right,
Yeah,
so first thing first, you scored 3 touchdowns. All 3 of those touchdowns came after San Francisco committed a penalty on third down when they had stopped you. Okay. The defense lost that game. 12 penalties for almost 100 yards. Okay. The next part of losing that game was Kyle Shanahan and once again not knowing how to make adjustments once he lost his starting running back. He is not a great situational coach. I am a staunch 49ers fan, but they do not get a pass. Kyle Shanahan does not get a pass. That was a game that they could have easily won. The defense was dominating the Bears. The Bears could not move the ball at all. Okay. But at the end of the day, Kyle Shanahan is not a great situational coach. If something goes awry, like if he loses a player or some kind of quick change happens, he does not know how to adjust. But at the end of the day, what we not finna do is what we not finna do. It's two things you're not finna blame this game on. You're not finna blame it on Trey Lance because actually he had a game, but all you people that's talking about it, Jimmy would have played, we'd have won. No, you wouldn't. We'd have lost by even more if Jimmy Garoppolo would have played. Trey Lance made throws that Jimmy Garoppolo could never make. Trey Lance kept drives alive with his legs. Jimmy Garoppolo's a statue in the pocket. Okay. With that awful offensive line that's in front of us outside of Trent Williams, the other four positions are questionable. Okay. So what we not finna do is one, we not finna blame this game on Trey Lance because he didn't lose that game. Okay, he had an interception, but Jimmy Garoppolo would have thrown several more. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is it's football. Miss me with the weather stuff, 49ers fans. Okay, so I don't care about the weather. The 49ers beat the Packers in a freaking blizzard. Okay, last year. It's football. Football is meant to be played outside. You overcome your elements. You adapt and you overcome. Military folk know what I'm talking about. That's what they train you to do. So I'm not going to blame the weather on that. I'm going to make excuses about the weather, but I'm not going to blame Trey Lance. Yes, there's blame to be handed out. The undisciplined play of the defense, the bad play of the offensive line, and basically Kyle Shanahan's inability to basically make adjustments. But Bears fans, you need to calm that noise down. You're still going to finish last place in your division, if not third, because the Lions are in your division. That's the only reason why you're not finishing last. That's it. But the 49ers had that game in the bag, 10-point lead. Kyle Shanahan is the king of giving up 2-score leads. He did it in the Super Bowl. He did it in the NFC Championship game. He does not know. He's a great play designer, but he is a horrible play caller. And if this continues throughout the year, he's going to be on a hot seat. But don't blame the kid. Bottom line. All you Trey Lance haters, everybody in the national media, everybody saying this negative stuff about Trey Lance, you didn't watch the game. If you're trying to blame this game on Trey Lance, you didn't watch the game. Period. Jimmy Garoppolo would have lost that game by way more than that because he'd turned that ball over way more. And go.
Go ahead, Brandon. If you got an opinion about this game.
I really don't have much of an opinion on this game because I didn't watch it. So I know
I
some
like
people. I know some people like to
go.
blame weather, but I mean, there's been so many bad weather games that I'm not going to put a lot of stuff on the weather when it comes to football. Especially when back in the '80s you had stuff like the Fog Bowl, or back in the '60s you had the classic Ice Bowl. Um, Buffalo Bills and New England last year, first game they played in heavy duty snow. So, um, like I said, some people blame weather. I'm not going to blame everything on the game weather. When it comes to throwing the football, I might give you somewhat of a pass on that. Some field goals I give you a pass, but not every aspect of the game I'm blaming on weather.
So here's my only thing. Here's why I'm leaning more towards the weather. It's not that they're playing the element that's bad, that's so bad, and they can still kind of maneuver through. Because you mentioned the fog bowl, you mentioned the ice bowl from back in the day. What I'm saying is, I've seen that kind of rain before on the field. The field itself, when it's like a pool. And that was the 49ers game that we had when Alex Smith was the QB. and you can't really do anything on that kind of field. That's why, for me, it was kind of like wherever the ball going to bounce, that team going to win because you can't really do anything fundamentally sound on that kind of ground. It wasn't even so much that it was raining; it's the fact that the thing was like when they stepped, the water was to their ankles. Like that, you can't really do anything. That's what like when people were harping on Trey Lance, I'm like, you can't judge Trey Lance based on that kind of game because he can't. What he does great, he can't do in that kind of weather. Like it's not realistic. So that was my whole thing for that game for both teams. I still think the Chicago's going to struggle mightily, but the 49ers will definitely play better. It's just that kind of element is really, really hard. It's just hard to do it in this NFL. You understand as well, like back in the day, you get more I formation, power, smash mouth type of football. They can play in any whether you want because that's what the game tolerates. This is the game today is more based on skill and scheming. You can't do that in that kind of weather. It's just you just really got to tighten your chin strap. All right, we just gonna go man man. Let's see who's gonna get it. You can't scheme up in that kind of weather.
I have a rebuttal. Go ahead and finish, but I have a rebuttal for everything that you're saying. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm done.
You done?
Yeah, because that's really all I had. I mean, I
Brandon,
didn't fault either team.
because you my encyclopedia. You ready, Brandon? I'm finna go into the need an entry. You ready?
What's up?
Who was in the NFC Championship in 1994?
The 1994 season.
The 1994 season into the 95 playoffs. Who was in the NFC Championship?
So wait a minute, 94, 95. So that would be you, us in San Francisco. Dallas.
Okay. All right. That's correct. That's correct. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Do you remember the condition of the field in that game?
No, I don't.
It was a quagmire. It was old Candlestick Park. It was low. It was high tide, and everybody knows at Candlestick Point when the tide comes in,
y'all got a dip in your field.
That field always is soggy. Plus, it had rained for an entire 2 weeks in California. Yes. That field was in the exact same condition. Okay.
Right. But right. You don't have those kind of.
I gave you your time. I gave you your time. What's good for the goose was good for the gander, Tristan. You made your point. I'm finna destroy it. Okay.
I don't think so.
So that's the first thing. And who won that game, Brandon?
Don't remind me, but yes, the 49ers won. I believe the score was 38.
You're my witness. I need you to just answer the question, please. Because we're in the courtroom of football right now, and I'm the star prosecutor. Go ahead. Who won that game? Could you repeat that for the jury? Who won that game, Brandon?
The 49ers won the game.
And the field conditions, to reiterate, the field conditions were extremely soggy. It was a quagmire. It might as well have been a swamp. Yes or no? Just answer the question, please.
Yes.
Okay. They won an NFC championship. But that my next point. Fast forward, rewind back to the then Washington football. Or were they the Redskins? I can't remember.
It was Washington football team.
Okay. Could it be that it was just the 49ers were a better team? And they
were going to lose that. No, we were going to lose that game regardless. But it was an ugly.
Prosecution rests, Your Honor.
No. That's it. No, Eric, listen.
At the end of the day, you line it up and run it. I don't want to hear a doggone thing about the field conditions. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I left off another point. Another point of order, Your Honor. Another point of order. Brandon, I didn't tell you got to stand yet. Brandon, what is the foundation of the 49ers offense?
Ground game.
Is it true that most of the time when you have bad weather conditions, that the absolute best thing to do is to run the ball?
Yes.
Y'all run zone. Y'all don't run power. Y'all ain't going up the middle all the time.
Brandon, is the strength of the 49ers offensive run game?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I ain't giving you that, Eric. I ain't giving you that. Let me tell you something.
The point I'm making is, this is my point that I'm making, and you can say what you want after this, but the point that I'm making is that I've expressed so eloquently, basically is that there was no excuse. Kyle Shanahan lost that game. The weather has nothing to do with the undisciplined play
Can't
of
say it
that
has
defense.
nothing to do with it.
The weather has nothing to do with the undisciplined play of the defense. Nothing. They could have done that in a bone dry state and committed those same stupid penalties. It was undisciplined defense. It was bad coaching on the offensive side of the ball. And let's not even talk about offensive line play. I'm not even bringing that into it. The 49ers lost that game, and I'm impartial. That's my team. But when they look a mess, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm not like some of these other fans that are just fanatical. Oh, my team's the best. No, I'm gonna go off because that was a game that they should have easily and handily won. They are leaps and bounds a better team than the Chicago Bears. I don't care who get mad because it's the truth. Okay, they are leaps and bounds. All right. No, baby, you got to miss me with that too. These players aren't built this. I ain't trying to hear that.
He's speaking
I'm not
facts.
trying to hear that. This is the NFL, period. As a matter of fact, these players are built better than what they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. If anything, they are better because of the technology, because of the nutrition, because of the workout regimens, because of the lack of hitting during practices. So no,
Now,
no,
Eric, I'll give you a slight pushback against that. I agree with you as far as, being able to work out and stuff, but I think mentally toughness has gone down to a degree from 10, 20, 30 years ago.
I'll give you that. But no, there's a better quality athlete in the NFL right now. And
So
I'm not the point I'm making is because we kind of going off on a tangent. The point I'm making is I'm not going to allow anyone to blame weather on the game, especially a team that went to a stadium during a blizzard. A blizzard. This was some rain and it was 70-some degrees. A blizzard. It was like -20 out. The windshield was -20 outside and won a game. They played disciplined. They played hard. They played strong. And it's mostly that same roster. So when you see a team that can do that and they getting a little rain, you got to miss me with, is the conditions. No, I'm sorry. Not a team that's built to actually play physical and bully people. So no, the 49ers do not get a pass for losing that game. Period. Let's go to the next game.
Oh, wait. I'm gonna just say this one last thing. I'm not saying this is where we're going back in the context. I didn't say that the weather was the sole reason and they should get a pass. I'm saying I can understand that the weather plays a part. I'm not gonna say it was a non-factor. That's just not realistic with that field. It's not. You can't say that it was a non-factor. That particular weather for that ground to be the way it is, no, it plays a role. Now penalties and stuff like that, I'll give you that. That's coaching. I give you that. They need to be better disciplined than that. But as far as the elements to be able to execute the game plan, specifically Kyle Shanahan's game, that I'm going to say weather has a part to play. It might not be the sole reason, might not be the complete excuse, but
If
you cannot
anything,
say
the
that it's a
weather played
non-factor.
into their hands. Those conditions are prime for root hogs to root.
But play in what hands? Chicago can't do nothing in good weather in a dome outside. They're not going to do nothing.
No,
They're
and
going to do anything.
no. I'm not going to disagree with you on that one because no, everything that they got was given to them in that game.
Yes.
Those 19 points were gifts. They didn't do anything. It wasn't like, San Fran out there on their A game and they just can't stop them. No, they got stopped. It was just penalties. It was stupid play by the defense. Egregiously dumb penalties that were committed. So yeah, it was. I put that all on the team. It wasn't because Chicago was great. It was because San Francisco was horrible. Bottom line, and that's coming from the biggest San Francisco fan. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on because there's several other games we got to cover, and then we got to do my picks for the week.
Was
What's
there
next?
several? To me, it was like one more game. I thought it was like one more game that we do, and then do your picks. Unless I'm
It,
wrong.
it was another upset. Let me see.
There's only, I mean, for me personally, there's only one other game that I like want to go into conversation about.
I think we're on the same page. Which one are you talking about?
The Vikings and Packers game. Aaron Rodgers and
Vikings and Packers? Oh,
the receiver.
that's a non-starter for me, honestly. But if you want to
Not,
talk about it, we'll spend a few minutes on it
yeah,
because
it's not long. It's just, but I got to talk about it's the receivers. That's really it. It's just the receivers for Green Bay.
All right,
and
go
we
for it.
we talked about that in the off season, talking about the question marks about Green Bay in our previous shows. The question mark is going to be how is Aaron Rodgers going to mesh with this receiving core? You have over the hill Randall Cobb, and then you got a bunch of talented but young and very green wide receivers
And
on
it
that team.
showed. And it
Now I
showed.
think now I agree with you that inexperienced receiving core, but here's the thing: they're talented. They're going to get better. Okay, but here's my big question, and this is the one that really needs to be asked. Justin Jefferson put up almost 200 yards on them. Green Bay has been known for having a very good secondary,
That
but
was talked about today.
they didn't
That
show
was
it
talked
Sunday.
about today.
That's the
Yeah,
question. What happened to that secondary? Because normally that secondary is very good.
very good.
And
Uh-huh.
and all I saw was the gritty every freaking highlight on red zone.
Well,
I didn't
see,
even turn to
so
the game. I just saw the grit. I'm like, he didn't. Damn, he caught another one. It was at
well,
100.
so I agree with you, Eric. I think they're a talented group, and I think they will get better. Here's the problem, though. If I'm a Packers fan, I have a quarterback that's aging, but still had back-to-back MVP. I have a team that's been to back-to-back, well, that were in back-to-back NFC Championship games prior to last season, and now not only did my star receiver is now a Raider, but I'm left with a plethora of babies and one over-the-hill receiver. How am I supposed to feel as a Packers fan? Because if you really think about it, Aaron Rodgers is the reason why they're in this situation. Devontae said it on the pivot. Shout out to the show, the pivot. Hopefully, we can get Ryan Clark and other people on our show. Shout out to them. But he said it. He said that he wasn't sure of what Aaron Rodgers was doing as far as if he was going to retire, if he was going to go to another team, and he didn't want to deal with that in Green Bay. So that played a part in him wanting to go to the Raiders.
So that's an excellent segue talking about the next game because this was the battle in the West with the Chargers and the Raiders. Okay. Now we were gonna do a segment talk about concern meter from DEFCON 1 to DEFCON 5. How concerned, Brandon and Tristan, this is my question to you. How concerned should the Raiders be? DEFCON 1 meaning, hey, tuck your head between your legs and kiss your butt goodbye. DEFCON 1 being the worst. And DEFCON 5 is like, hey, we had some problems, but we're going to be okay. So where would you rate that from 1 to 5? The Raiders.
Let's see. I'm gonna rank them. Hold on. What was we said? One was high, five was low.
One is World War III, is nuclear holocaust. Okay. 5 is we have some issues, but it's nothing. It's not a big deal.
I say probably about 3.5.
3 or 4. 3 or 4. No point
3,
five.
3. Okay.
Okay, so a 3.
Yes.
And
I think
why?
look. I know. Okay, of course, Josh McDaniel's been a head coach before. He was in uh Denver, and that went poorly. He has the tools needed to be successful. He needs to figure it out fast, of course, because you're a head coach. Because you have Hunter Renfro in there to be a slot receiver to be your Wes Walker, Julian Edelman type receiver. You have
And I think he's better than that. But go ahead.
no. I'm just saying. I'm
I'm a Hunter Renfro fan, but
no. I know. I get it. But I'm just saying. You have Darren Waller to be that tight end. and then you have an anchor and wide receiver that you didn't have much of
You finally got
in
a
New
Batman.
England.
You got Batman. You got Batman now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a good running back in Josh Jacobs, and you have a good quarterback.
And last I heard, Jacobs is on the trade block, from what I'm understanding. I don't know. I don't know how true it is.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
that's just a rumor.
you have two very good defensive ends, and Crosby and Jones. So I'm not going to panic quite yet with the Raiders, but they need to make sure that they get anything and everything together because you're in that tough division. You lost to the Chargers, so you're behind them. The Broncos lost, but Kansas City won. Um, so my bad. So you behind. So you obviously you behind the Chargers and Chiefs. So you need to get it together now and win games to keep up with them throughout the regular season, trying to win the division title and get into the playoffs.
And this is
Because
a very tough
you have no
division.
room for error whatsoever.
It's a very tough division.
Oh.
Tristan,
Mhm.
1 to 5.
I think I'm kind of agreeing with Brandon. I'm maybe leaning more towards a 4. And the only reason why I say that is, and I see Portia's comment, and I can understand based on how he played yesterday. I can understand. Well, I played on Sunday. I can understand her gripe. Um,
That is a diehard Raiders fan, by the way.
yeah, I can respect it. Um, but we also have to think about the fact that Derek Carr. How many coaches is this right now for Derek Carr?
Ooh, that's a
Well,
good
let's see.
question.
I'm not Josh Jacobs. Josh McDaniels, John Gruden,
Hmm.
the coach before John Gruden.
If you want to, you can count the interim after
I
John
think
Gruden.
Oh yeah,
right.
yeah, I know you're talking about.
Then you had Hugh,
Yeah, Rich Bisaccia.
right? Versace. Then you had Hugh before him.
That's a Hugh Jackson. Yeah.
So I mean, so now, all those guys, what they have in common were that they were all offensive minds, which means they all had a direct link to Derek Carr. There are some things that I think Derek Carr has to unlearn and go with Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels' system predicates him on being quick decisions, being decisive in what he's doing. That's why you put the plethora of weapons around your quarterback because you want your quarterback to be decisive with the ball and be quick with the ball. Derek Carr ain't never done that before. He got to learn how to do that. And when you think about it, before Devontae Adams came, who was his legit number one besides Waller and Winthrop? Because
Now,
after Amari Cooper, it wasn't like they brought in someone to match Amari Cooper as a legitimate X receiver. So you have to give him. I would say give him. Now it's bad that the first game they laid an egg was a divisional game. I agree there. That's terrible. But you know and that's why I say maybe a 4 because I feel like he can get it back going with this set of weapons and with Josh McDaniels. They just got to um, really put that to action because we got to remember they barely played in the offseason well. I know how people feel about preseason, but I'm telling you, for me, over the years watching teams that let their guys play and get them reps in, they are better suited for them week 1, week 2 games. They're already in a groove. That's why Tom Brady used to like to play preseason all the time. He needs to have the reps in a live gunfire. He needs to feel it. So I know Derek Carr and Devontae didn't really play. So you got to give them a chance. You still got Josh Jacobs. You got a great offensive line. You can run the football. You even got to put the pressure on Derek Carr. You can run the football, and knowing that you got someone like Devontae out there will open up for everybody else. I think you just got to give it time and let it develop.
so my idea on that is that I think they're at a DEFCON, probably at a DEFCON 3 as well, but for different reasons than what you gentlemen stated, and that defense is questionable, especially for that division.
The
As
secondary,
yeah, you're in a division
the
where
secondary is questionable.
Yeah, you're in a division where you're gonna be getting shot at every game.
Yep.
They're gonna be shots fired at you every game. Ain't gonna be no
Yep.
fist fights in a phone booth. It's gonna be just straight up gunfights,
Yep.
and that leads me to question them a lot. It's concern, and really, it's closer to a 2 when you consider if it was another division, I would say 3, but now I'm thinking more of a 2 because of the way that division is built. They throwing it all over the yard, and that secondary is not what's up right now, and they need to fix that. So, not to linger any longer, let's move on. Wow, the Dallas Cowboys lost. That's nothing new. But wow, they also lost their quarterback for a. I'm sorry, Brandon. They also lost their quarterback for what looks to be maybe 6 to 8 weeks.
They're trying to get him back in 4 to 5.
4 to 5. That's still a good grip of time because if you lose all those games, you're done. So there are thoughts that are basically circulating around, well, let's ride Cooper Rush because it ain't gonna be that long. Then there's also, hey, let's trade for Jimmy Garoppolo. Please take him. Please. We'll take him for some chewed up bubble gum and a half-eaten chicken sandwich. Just take him. Okay, he's only $6 million now, by the way. We for the low price of $6 million. You could take this fool off our roster and quit this quarterback controversy in San Francisco.
Look, there's a former NBA basketball player that used to block shots, and after he blocked shots, he did this.
What talking about?
Thank you.
I know, but that's what do we think? Since we're talking in this segment, DEFCON 1 to 5, Cowboys, and go Tristan.
Is there something higher than 1?
You let him go first because I was about to just shut it down.
Is there something higher than 1? Because listen. I understand everybody's paying attention to this back injury. The Cowboys weren't playing good when he was in. It was still bad.
And let's not to piggyback on what you're saying. That roster did not get better over the offseason. Okay.
Well, we all had agreed on that.
That roster did not get better. You had an early exit from the playoffs. The roster did not get better in the offseason. There was a plethora of injuries. Well, not plethora, but enough injuries to cause problems. Like, for example, Smith and now Dak Prescott. So, and then your coaching is questionable. So, I had somebody send me a text. These are reasons why the Cowboys gonna win the Super Bowl. I said, do they include magic fairy dust and the rings of power from Lord of the Rings? Because if you don't have that, does Doctor Strange cape gonna have something to do with it? Because
here's the thing, Eric. I want you to go back into your memory. What did I say all summer about CeeDee Lamb?
He wasn't a true alpha dog.
That's
what you said.
I just don't see it. I don't see that guy that demands the ball. I don't see it. He kind of goes with the flow of the game. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not bashing him because I know he's a talent. But your number one receiver, there's a certain energy that they have when they're like, I don't care about anything else. Give me the ball. In that situation on Sunday, I need a CD to be like, forget all that. I know Dak out. I know that. Hey,
I do you one better. I do you one better, Tristan. I do you one better, Tristan. Not only that, but even if he was that guy, that dude, who is his ancillary guys? Because all you gotta do is roll coverage to him at this point. Let's throw out the Dak Prescott injury. Let's throw out the Tyron Smith injury. If CeeDee Lamb is not the guy, who's the other guys? I mean, if he is, excuse me, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Even if he is the guy, who are the other guys that's going to take the heat off and make them have to play honest on defense?
There's no other guy because they don't coach him up. Even look at the strategy of the game. Ezekiel Elliott was averaging 5.2 yards a carry. Why did he only get 10 carries?
That's coaching.
That's on Kellen Moore. That's on Kellen Moore.
And y'all had people talking about the defense of the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, y'all had the Bucs.
Look, hey, I'm not a Ezekiel Elliott fan, but he played really well in that game against the
He
Buccaneers.
played well.
And then all of a sudden, they just stopped giving him the
You
ball.
should stop doing it. I
Yeah,
didn't
so
understand that.
that's coaching.
Kellen Moore.
When you go away from things that are working,
Kellen Moore's the offensive play caller.
Kyle Shanahan, when you go away from things that are working and you just start doing things that don't work and you stay with the things that don't work. So, and everybody knows the key. And then Titus Ross is one of our followers that always is on our show. Titus said this in one of our chats. He's like, the way you beat Brady-led teams is keeping him off the field. What's the best way to keep him off the field? Run the ball.
And they were
Rush the
doing
passer.
it.
Yeah.
They were doing it. Why would you go away from that?
Yeah.
Also problems I had on offense was early in the game, the way they were giving Tony Pollard the football, they was doing all kind of trick plays. My thing is, instead of doing all that reverse and this and that, just give him the ball as far as running. Let him run, let Zeke run. Because because obviously if Zeke is able to run, the offense lines get some kind of movement, open up some kind of space for your running backs.
And it frees up
Run
play
the ball
action.
with those two guys.
5.2 yards.
And then it frees up play action. That's the next thing. So,
Hey,
but so in my opinion, I think they're at about a DEFCON 2 because Dak is going to be able to come back. But let's be real, Dak wasn't playing well when he was
They
healthy.
weren't playing well with him. That's why I said one. Because they weren't doing anything.
There
while he
was
was on the field.
several. He made several turnover-worthy
look,
throws in
look.
that game that just weren't picked off.
I'm not gonna sit here and wait on Cooper Rush because Cooper Rush is not going to be Tom Brady replacing Drew Bledsoe. He's not going to be Kurt Warner replacing Trent Green. He's just going to be Cooper Rush. So don't ask me about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm in off season mode already. I'm gonna start looking at draft picks. I mean draft prospects in the next couple of weeks. I don't care. I
Ladies and gentlemen, I present a realistic Cowboys fan
I
right
don't
here next to
care.
me.
IDGAF. Okay, I don't care.
Now,
Don't
Ladies and gentlemen, a
don't ask
realistic
me nothing
Cowboys
about
fan.
you can ask me about the other 31 NFL teams. Don't ask me about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm in off season mode.
now, before you shut down though, Brandon, before you shut down on that, I do want to ask this question because you're there's nobody I know better knowing their team besides Eric with the 49ers than you do. So I need to know your opinion.
Okay.
In regards, I remember what I said this morning, but then as the day went on, I kept thinking about it. Here's the issue that I have with you all thinking. I'm gonna just play devil's advocate on this one. The issue I have with y'all thinking is, what are you thinking for? Because how much are you? The only option is for you to get a high pick to trade back. But who is going to give you that high ransom, that RG3 type deal, where you can have a plethora of picks to reload your roster? Because there's no one that's coming out of the draft that is a game breaking talent that someone's going to jump like that for them. So you guys tanking to get a high draft pick, what are you going to do with it? Because there's a plethora of holes that you guys have. And then you got to really think about Dak Prescott and uh, are you going to always have him throughout all the games? Are you going to is he going to be there? Is he going to be healthy? Is his body starting to break down on him? And you gave him all this money. Now we got to have that conversation. So I feel like Jerry is going to try to find another quarterback to kind of right the ship and try to make a push when it, until that comes back.
You can come
Because
get Jimmy.
y'all tanking isn't going to. I don't think it really makes sense to do it.
Look, I know how you feel about draft picks and stuff, but you have to understand how desperate teams are for quarterbacks. Look what's happening, especially these last couple off seasons. Carson Wentz went from Philadelphia to Indianapolis to Washington. Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford both got traded. This is the last 2 off seasons. This one and the one before. Okay, Russell Wilson is in Denver. There were talks about Aaron Rodgers getting moved.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ryan got traded.
Mm-hmm.
There were talks that Jimmy Garoppolo was supposed to be traded.
Don't nobody want him.
Team, hold on, hold on. No, I'm just listing stuff. I'm just listing stuff. Okay, it's not to have any kind of debate or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, team San Francisco trade up for Trey Lance. Justin Fields got drafted. Teams they that's how the quarterback market is. So teams get desperate. There, there's no other way to say it. Teams get desperate. So if if teams see that Dallas have the teams know that Dallas have Dak Prescott, you don't need a quarterback. Let's go get a quarterback. Let's give a king's ransom for whatever pick the Cowboys get, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So you're implying that the Cowboys should possibly trade Dak Prescott?
No,
Okay.
what I'm saying is whatever Dallas record is at the end of the season, whatever draft pick they end up with, teams are going to want that high draft pick, especially if it's within the top 3. Especially if it's in the top 3, they're going to want it.
I don't think y'all gonna get a top 3 pick.
I don't think so either.
I don't think Dallas is that bad. Okay. You still have the Texans, you still have the Lions, you still have, the Jets, you still have all these
The
teams.
Lions aren't going to be up there. The Lions are going to be better.
Yeah, they're gonna be a better team. So
the Falcons in Texas probably be 1 and 2.
yeah. So good segue. My Stone Cold lock of the week last week was the Saints beating the Falcons, which they did. However, I'm kind of disappointed at Who Dat Nation because they should have walked off with that game. The fact that they had the Falcons are known for blowing big leads, and that's what they do. And the Saints are just like, just wait, we gonna get it. Just wait. I get that, but the Saints are a far superior team to the Falcons this year. And the fact that this game went down to the last second I think that was a hiccup along the Saints road. DEFCON 1 to 5, I think it's about a 5, but the Saints got to fix some things. Okay, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it because I need to get to my picks because we're running long tonight. But the Saints really shocked me. Now my Stone Cold lock still stood, but let's go ahead and get into the picks for next week. First things first. This past week I was 9, 5, and 1, which I'm gonna always keep a winning percentage on my picks. I don't care what it is, but there was some shockers. There was a few upsets that kind of threw my whole thing off. But the tie with Indianapolis and the Texans, nobody saw that coming. That's another team that should have run roughshod over Houston was Indy. But Lovie Smith's a good coach. So the Texans are going to win some games that they shouldn't win, and they're going to be in some games that they probably should be getting blown out in. So they're like a dangerous kind of spoiler type team. Are they going anywhere? Absolutely not. However, will they play spoiler to a lot of teams this year? Yes. Okay. So let's go into the picks. So week 2, I have the Chiefs over the Chargers. This was going to be a pick'em game, but when I found out that Keenan Allen is not playing in this game, I went ahead and went with the Chiefs because it's still going to be just bombs over Baghdad in that game. I'm looking at the over-under on points probably being 60 easy between both teams. But I'm going with the Chiefs in this game because they have a healthy roster, and we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but I feel like the Chiefs are more dangerous now without Tyreek Hill than they were with Tyreek Hill because of Pat Mahomes spreading the ball around. All right, moving on. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now go ahead. You good.
Okay, so I got the Steelers over the Patriots because the Patriots, we talking about teams picking in the top 5. You have a defensive coordinator calling your offensive plays. I'm done. I don't need to say nothing else. Mitch Trubisky really shocked me last week playing as well as he did against the Bengals. I think he can do it again against the Patriots because Matt Patricia's not calling the defense. He calling the offense.
New England
He's
Patriots,
also
you need an offensive coordinator, give me a call.
Yeah. So moving on, I got the Panthers over the Giants. I think the Giants played admirably against Tennessee, but I think that the shoe gonna drop this week. Okay. The Panthers, even though they lost to the Browns, they played pretty solid. Baker Mayfield had a good game. I think he'll have another good one against the Giants. Okay.
I think the
Give me
Giants will beat them.
say again.
I think the Giants will beat the Panthers. I was more impressed with the Giants than the Panthers.
Yeah, I got the Panthers over the Giants, but Browns over Jets. The Browns came in there and said, we don't need Baker. And Jacoby Brissett is saying, hey, I can hold this thing down until Deshaun gets here. I'm going to try to keep us relevant until Deshaun gets here. And then, oh, Nelly, watch out. So with that running game, you still have Kareem Hunt. You still got Chubb. That running game's good. The defense is solid. I got the Browns over the Jets. Give me the Colts over the Jags. The Jags played Washington really tough. But I think the Colts got a wake-up call when they played Houston and realized, hey, we actually got to play football in this division. I think that's what happened with the Colts this week. So I think they're going to be ready this week. Matt Ryan's like, oh, okay. Dang, I actually got to play football now. All right. So give me the Ravens over the Dolphins. Okay. I just feel like the Dolphins have not completely gelled yet. I think they're solid. I think they're good. But I think the Ravens are just a little bit better. That little bit, it's probably going to be about a 3 to 6 point game. It's a 1-score game, but I got the Ravens winning by 1 score. Give me the Saints over the Bucks. Now, this is my pick'em game. This is the one that could go either way. Okay. Brady knows he didn't play a great game against Dallas. They did just enough to get by. And you know how he is in games where he doesn't. The next week after he has a bad game, he usually loses his damn mind the next week. Now, if I had to make a pick, I got the Saints because Chris Godwin is questionable for that game. Fantasy owners look at that. So Chris Godwin,
Julio looked like he on that TV12 playing.
Julio's playing well. So you got Mike Evans and Julio Jones. They've got a whole week to prepare, knowing that they may not have Chris Godwin. So let's see what Byron Leftwich does. Okay. As the offensive coordinator. The Buccaneers defense is very good. They're good. So they might give the Saints a little bit of trouble, but I still got the Saints in this one. I got the Commanders over the Lions. Y'all was in a fight last week. Y'all gonna be in a fight this week, but y'all gonna pull it out. Because the Lions, they lace up their boxing gloves every week. And they get in the ring and they gonna go toe to toe with you. You ain't finna knock us out. You might beat us in a decision, but you ain't finna knock us out. The Lions fight, but I still got the Commanders in this. Jahan Dotson is incredible. He is an incredible compliment to Terry McLaurin. Oh my God, that end zone catch he made, that touchdown. The receiver, the corner was all over, and he somehow came down with that ball. I was like, oh my God. They got something special. They finally got a tandem, which they hadn't had in a long time in Washington. So I got the Commanders over the Lions. Okay, so here's the shocking one. I had the Seahawks over the Niners. Okay, and here's why. Okay, Mitchell is out for at least 2 months. Okay, they just signed Marlon Mack. Seattle's defense is better than we thought it was. And especially against the run. And what does San Francisco do well?
Jamal Adams is out.
Yeah, but they made a lot of stops after Jamal Adams left that game. They still played tough.
They played out of their mind.
They played now. Tristan, you do have a point, because this was one of those. Oh, this is a big game for them because they want to get back at Russell, and they played out of their minds. And the other shoe could drop. It could drop. I'm not saying the Niners couldn't win, but if you put a gun to my head, knowing how Kyle Shanahan coaches, now they could be getting George Kittle back. If George Kittle plays this week, could be all bets off. Okay. But as of right now, until the injury report comes out, and make sure you document that, And until the injury report comes out, I have Seahawks over Niners, but things could change based on the injury report. All right. Give me the Rams over the Falcons, not by much. Falcons, they selling their lives dearly too. They kind of getting into that. Hey, you're gonna be in a fight. We gonna lose, but you're gonna be in a fight. So give me the Rams, probably maybe 10 points over the Falcons, 10-point game. The Falcons are gonna start with a lead and give it up like they always do.
I agree.
Shout out to Titus Ross. Okay. Give me the Raiders over the Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury is being exposed this year. He got exposed last week. He's going to get exposed again. And the best deodorant is beating up on a team that don't know what to do with you, Raiders. And I think the Raiders got enough offense where they gonna make some hay. Okay. I got the Raiders in a 1-score game. Broncos over Texans. Russell's gonna cook this week. They at home.
Russell's going to destroy the Texans.
Yeah, Russell gonna cook this week. He gonna cook. He gonna have his chef hat on and everything. So
now, I will say this: I do like Davis Mills, and
I like him too. No, I think he's good.
That they got. Stingley, y'all know I'm an LSU fan.
Hey, look.
Stingley balled out. He balled out last week.
The addition of OJ Howard to the Texans receiving game is really big. I just don't think they're gonna be able to overcome.
Hey, look. There's a rookie DB they got on our team, Petrie, who I like.
Jalen Petrie.
Yes. I like him too.
And Lovie Smith is a very good defensive coach.
Yeah, he knows what to do with Petrie.
They're gonna fight, but because they're a good coach, they're a well-coached team, but they're still deficient in a lot of areas. So I have the Broncos over the Texans with a 2-score game. Give me the Bengals over the Cowboys. That secondary is not ready for what T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and all those other guys gonna do.
Look, it's not even about that. You know what it's about? No Tyron Smith, no Dak Prescott. Next.
Okay, so give me the Bengals over the Cowboys, 10 points. Packers over the Bears. Bears, the shoe is about to drop. Okay, and I guarantee you this is probably one of the most intense practice weeks that Aaron Rodgers has had with his receivers this week. And Aaron Rodgers went straight Nicolas Cage on them because he looked like Nick Cage now.
And Bear fans.
Huh?
He still owns you.
He still owns. Yeah, he still owns you. He actually said that he still owns you. So give me the Packers over the Bears.
All Packers wide receivers will be on the jug machine this week.
Oh, absolutely. So give me Packers over Bears. I say 10 points. Bills over Titans. Here's the thing: the Bills won by 21 points and turned over the ball 4 times. I think that if they minimize those turnovers, it's going to be even uglier. Okay, I think they finna do some real damage. If you can win by 21 points, you screwing up and you still win by 21. That's dominant. That's dominant. So they gon' if they can tackle Derrick Henry. Well, you know what you call me not there no more.
They gonna hit Derrick Henry.
Yeah. So I have the Bills over the Titans, and I got it. I got a 2-score game. Give me the Vikings over the Eagles. Yes, I said it. Give me the Vikings over the Eagles because everybody's the Eagles because the Eagles are the new Rams, by the way, y'all. So they the new Rams. I got the Vikings over the Eagles. Honestly, I don't know what the spread is going to be, but I got the Vikings over the Eagles. I think they just a little bit better, not put together. What's the word? They're a little bit more jailed. I think if you're going to use that term, I think they're more jailed than the Eagles, and that's going to show early this season. Now, if they play that game later in the season, who knows? But because it's week 2, and the Eagles played the Lions, I feel like the Vikings a little bit more jailed. They're gonna do a little bit more damage. So to recap, I got Chiefs over Chargers, Steelers over Pats, Panthers over Giants, Browns over Jets, Colts over Jags, Ravens over Fins, Saints over Bucks. That's the pick'em game. Commanders over Lions, Seahawks over Niners, Rams over Falcons. By the way, that's my Stone Cold lock. Raiders over Cards, Broncos over Texans, Bengals over Cowboys, Packers over Bears, Bills over Titans, and Vikings over Eagles.
All right, ladies and
I'm not
gentlemen,
always right, but I'm more right than I'm wrong.
that's it. That's Pando's picks. That's our reaction to week one. Let us know if you think we overreacted. If you missed the show, just leave some comments in the comment section below on YouTube, or you can comment on our Twitter or Facebook account because that's where we're live on right now. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and you can still, always talk to us, and we'll respond definitely. Also listen to us on Google, Apple, and Spotify podcasts.
I can't respond on Facebook because I'm in Facebook jail, but that's another story. Go ahead.
Well, his name is Pando, so y'all know why.
For
So yeah,
another for 22 days.
so that's Eric Pando 316 right. Down below is Trish TV. I'm Brandon Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Good night.